Live from Hogdale's Big Booty Emporium in Des Moines, Iowa, it's Pod by the River, episode 101, brought to you by Beyond the Monster. I'm your host today, Ed Hand, and I am joined by the one, the only, Mr. Bitches, the new king of all media, Hogdale.
What's up, Ed? Good to see you, man.
You like that intro?
Love the intro. Great intro. Yeah, as I build my media empire and take over the world. I'm chilling. I'm hanging out. Happy baseball's back. Happy we're talking about real, tangible games and results that happen in front of our eyes.
Yeah, I mean, would like those to be a little better, but before we even start talking about that, I just want to talk about you blowing up, you going viral. Like, was that surprising to you, seeing you like all of your stuff get retweeted, all of your electric calls?
I mean, it was awesome. Obviously, a lot of growth. I mean, I've gained almost, I think, 100 followers on Twitch in just the last couple days. I've gained 600 followers on Twitter. It's been awesome. I'm glad that people are really excited for the season. I'm just happy that the stream is getting out there, and it's spreading rapidly.
I mean, it's not just you. Will Fleming, play-by-play man of the Red Sox, said you were coming for his job.
I love Will Fleming, and the compliment meant a lot because I have a lot of love and a lot of respect for Will Fleming. He is the absolute gold standard of radio broadcasting. Unbelievable. He's unbelievable at his job. Love him. But yeah, him, Rob Bradford complimented me, which was very kind. Lucille Bird, she's great.
Oh, we love Lucy.
The stream. Obviously, Jared Carabas retweeted the stream. He quote tweeted it.
Will Middlebrooks told you to fire him up.
I did. Yeah, he did. He did say that, and it's awesome. I'm glad that people are loving the stream, loving the content I'm putting out there. There's a lot more of it where that came from, brethren. Someone said to save my energy, there's 150 some games left. I'm like, I got a big gas tank. I won't be running out anytime soon.
Yeah, you got some big other stuff. Are like ladies showing up in your DMs yet?
No, that is not.
That's not what I heard.
Oh yeah, is that not what you heard?
That's not what I heard. I heard that you had to block a couple of people because they were sending you so many just non-requested lady part pics. That's what they're called, right?
Oh yeah, definitely unsolicited.
Unsolicited lady part pics.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do when you see those? Like, do you just go like, "Oh my," and then like delete it, or like do you tell them like, what the heck?
Move forward, just delete them and move on.
Yeah, the first one of those that you got, were you just like, "What the fuck? Who's punking me?"
Yeah. My God.
We're stalling for time while we wait for Justin to get here, but I guess we can start talking ball. Yeah, what'd you? Oh, here he is. Okay, good. We just stalled. Oh no, Justin, get the gun out of your mouth. No, no.
I can't do it anymore, world.
It's just the season is over. That's so funny.
I can't. I'm done.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that, like in the Patriots community, there's like this copy pasta where it's like, fucking, that's it. I've been a Patriots fan since the year 1922 when they were the West Taunton Yellow Jackets, and this is the worst team I've ever seen. Bill Belichick is too busy sniffing his own farts to run a football team.
That's pretty accurate right now in this instance. Yeah.
Can I tell you though? I know people are going to be butthurt. Like a 1-3 start, not great, not ideal.
I prefer if they were 3-1. Honestly,
I too would prefer that. But, these were all reasonably close games. These were games that were not lost by a lot of the things that were causing them to lose games last year. We didn't see a defensive breakdown. We didn't see somebody in the bullpen that shouldn't be there imploding. It was really just they couldn't get any runs across the plate. That was really what the big issue was. You have basically everybody in the batting order except for two people slumping. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is simple. Like, what did the Red Sox do wrong in this series? They did exactly one thing wrong. They couldn't hit with runners in scoring position, and that's the most important thing to winning baseball games for the most part. Everything else, no complaints. Bullpen didn't allow. I don't think they allowed a single earned run this series. The pitching was okay. It wasn't great, but it was good enough to win. Like, they weren't terrible at all. Like, they did enough to allow you to win. And the defense was incredible. Like, very, very good. And even with David Hamilton playing shortstop in the last game, the defense was incredible.
Yeah, he was pretty quiet at shortstop as far as like errors or mistakes go. So
That's
I was
all I
pleased.
want from him. That's
Yeah.
all I want from him. Unfortunately, he was also pretty quiet with the bat, but we don't have to get into that at this exact moment.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, he can join the club in that regard, which is vast at the moment.
Yeah, he was pretty much in line with everybody else. But Bregman looks really good at third, huh? Really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess maybe that's a good place for us to start, and that's just the series Rafi had was disastrous. Disastrous. It was bad. It was record-breakingly bad. That's not hyperbole. He broke a record for most strikeouts in the first 3 games of the season, which and I mean I could have told you that just from the eye test. His timing is non-existent. His bat speed is off. What do you guys make of that? There are 3 possible things that I've been kind of like, what is it? And I believe any of them. The first is just that his timing is off because he didn't really have a spring and he's a slow starter. The second one is that he is a heartbroken man who is extremely butthurt that he was moved off of third base. And the third one, and I think that this is the most believable of the 3 to me, is that he is still feeling the shoulder injuries from last year. What do you guys have?
Go ahead, Hogdale. It's okay.
Okay, I mean, like, the thing is with the shoulder injuries is, like, it could be believable just because of his bat speed, but at the same time, the Red Sox are not stupid. Like, they MRI'd him, his MRIs came back clean. And, like, because Red Sox stats pointed that out. So, like, what's the issue here? Obviously, there's a very real mechanical thing that's wrong with him that stats also pointed out, in that, like, his stance has, like, opened up significantly since last year. And it's not fitting him at all. Also, his hand placement is different. So, in terms of, like, a mechanical thing, like Pete Fatsi, like, supposedly you get paid to help the hitters hit properly. That's probably something that, he should acknowledge and talk to Rafi about. Maybe pull him aside, be like, hey, man, your stance is too open. You're not Alex Verdugo.
Yeah.
So, but how is his stance going to affect his bat speed?
I mean, if you're doing can you swing a bat really well if you have a full split?
I think the
You
answer
would think
there
he would
is
notice that, though. You would think that he'd be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be standing like that. I know what my stance is, so what's going on?
What stats pointed out is it was incremental over time. Like, he kept getting slightly more and more open. And if you look at his stance compared to the last time he was raking to now, like, it's massive. Like, it's very, very different. Very, very noticeable. But it happened very slowly over time, almost like it's probably just like a bad habit that never got corrected. Which, again, Pete Fatsi, dude, what the fuck do you do here? What do you do here? How do you not notice that? The fuck?
Are people just afraid to talk to Rafi?
They shouldn't be.
Seems like they are.
I don't see why they would be. The whole I'm going to answer the question that you asked, Ed, how would it affect his bat speed? That's not for us to really decide. That's something that Fatsi needs to decide whether if that's something to be fixed or not. I would assume that we would want to see him replicate more of what works than what doesn't. To me, this is just hasn't really had a spring at all. He played 5 games in the spring. This is by far his least amount of games being played in the spring. He's still catching up. He's still in spring mode right now. That's all I'm chalking it up to. I don't think he's injured. I don't think he's feeling any ailments or I guess remains from his injury from last year. I just think he's just slow to start, and it's just one series. I don't think anybody should be worried about him at all. Right now,
I do think Rafi's going to be fine.
Yeah,
I think he'll be fine. Yeah, this series was ugly. It's whatever, man. I mean, it's like Justin said. It's one series. Like, this is one of the reasons why this is so jarring. Is Rafael Devers year in, year out is one of the most consistent hitters in the league. This is a guy who just like wakes up out of his sleep and he's got an 860 OPS. Like, that's just what he does.
Yep.
So it's very jarring to see him struggle like this. I mean, also, like, he's probably in his own head right now. It's like the adjustment to DH. We've talked about in the past how, Rafi, like, when he makes a mistake defensively at third, it carries over into his hitting. So, like, now when he's just hitting and he's starting out slow, Like now is the demons in his head, kind of eating away at him, and does he need to kind of like see a sports psychologist and kind of figure out how to work through it, or even just go talk to JD and David Ortiz about like how he needs to adjust mentally into while being a DH.
I'm going to push back a little bit because I think that I think that it's weird that it was announced that even if Bregman needs a day off, Rafi's not getting a single game at third base. And that to me speaks more to injury. That's like Massa last year, where it was like, well, why not play him in the outfield? Why not play him in the outfield? You're going to tank his value. He's not hurt, and then it turned out that he was hurt.
But to me, that makes complete sense, like when you're thinking of logically. Like they have acknowledged by moving Rafi off of third, ripping the Band-Aid off, his third base defense is not acceptable. We know that like we paid him to be a bat. We're going to have him be a bat. He needs to adjust to be a DH. So that means he can't be playing third every now and then. He needs to get over the mental hurdle of being your everyday DH. You can't just be, flip-flopping back and forth between it. We're making a decision. We are sticking with it. We want to improve the infield defense. Rafi's not going to play third base. If Bregman gets hurt, we'll bring Meyer up and he'll play defense instead.
Yeah, and what kind of message would it send to Rafi where it's like, we brought in Bregman because your defense was lacking, and that's being nice, but you're good enough to play there every once in a while. So like, which one is it? It's mixed messaging to me. I agree with Hogdale. I really think that they're just trying to have him focus on DHing, just like they were trying to have him focus on third base in the past. And it was, they gave him that opportunity. Now they said that he's going to be the DH for the Red Sox. That is his position. That is the only thing he needs to worry about is hitting and being a DH, and that's it. He doesn't have to worry. He doesn't have to. He really doesn't have to worry about like I might play third base this week. Like that's just not in his mind at all.
I would also argue it's also entirely logically consistent with exactly how they handled Yoshida when they looked at him, and eventually Craig made the decision, was like, I am not willing to have him be in the outfield. He's too much a defensive negative. He's never seeing the outfield again. He did the same thing with Rafi at third. He did the same thing.
Yep.
It's terrible, terrible, terrible roster management. You have a guy on your team that you can only have hitting. If you need to rest a guy, take him out of the lineup for a day that's hot, you're completely wasting it. He's not David Ortiz, though. David Ortiz, you weren't putting at first base, period. You can put Rafi at third. It wasn't that bad, his defense.
Not according to Craig. Craig thinks he sucks, so go to fucking DH. Asshole.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that like it's pretty stupid for like as a take to me at least when people are like, this is what you get when you take him off third base and you make him into a DH. No, like he could have been playing any position and probably still would have been struggling like he is now. Just because he's outfielding doesn't mean making plays doesn't mean that it's gonna magically fix his hitting somehow. Like I really don't see that happening. It's really not a logical argument to me when I see people trying to make that argument. It's pretty.
What argument are you saying?
The argument I've seen people online making the argument that like this is him striking out and having a horrible series is a product of you taking him off third base and making him into a DH. I don't get that. I really don't understand it. The argument there, the logic there would be that if he was a regular third baseman like he's always been, that he wouldn't be going through this slump.
Well, yeah,
I don't get that.
You genuinely believe he's just tanking the season because he's mad.
I don't think he's taking the season because he's mad. Again, I told you I think that he's hurt, but I can certainly argue for. Hang on, let me switch gears to where I was after Game 2 of the series before I saw him get interviewed and calm down. Hang on a second. I mean, how would you feel if if you were promised that you were going to get this thing? There were all of these rumors going on throughout the entire off season. You were lied to. You were told, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. No. Everybody's reporting, I'm going to be the third baseman. He's going to be the second baseman. And then you find out very end of spring training, just kidding, you're actually our DH. We think this thing that you take a lot of pride in, you're actually shit at. Those promises, those were actually only the responsibility of the one guy that isn't here anymore, so it doesn't count at this point. You signed the contract, you're getting a lot of money, so you can't bitch about it. We're done here. You're expecting him to just be like, well, okay, that's my job, that's what I'm going to do, which obviously is what he's doing.
Yes, you're getting $3 million.
But Hogdale, let me finish. You're assuming, though, that in baseball, a mental sport, that you're just going to be able to make that transference immediately. You're already pissed off at them for just.
But that's why I'm.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
I don't want to let you finish.
Fuck you. Let me finish. I'm muting you. Then. Removed. He's removed.
I have admin privileges too, cunt. I paid for the fucking StreamYard. Don't you dare kick me off.
You can't suspend Hogdale. He's unsuspendable.
Finish your shitty ass take. Go.
I don't even. The
point here. The point
Go
here
ahead.
is
Go ahead.
Well, you see what I mean, though? Like, you're in the middle of something, someone throws you off of your routine, someone throws you off of everything, it takes a little bit to recalibrate.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, man.
I think I will be shifting my gears a little bit towards your take if he's in the same rut in May. If he's having the same really bad issues like that, he better not be hitless in May. by May. I mean
bad.
that would be like like catastrophic. It's not going to happen. But I think I would be more towards something is wrong with him mentally if he's still mightily struggling in May. Right now, I really just think he's just warming up, and it's just get him out of Texas. Every player on the team is going to go through a series like this. Christian Campbell's going to go through a series like this. Willie Bray is going to go through a series like this. Maybe without the strikeouts, but my point is they're going to have bad series. They're going to have really bad series. These are the ebbs and flows of a baseball season. And right now we're going through the ebbs.
But there's a difference between you just hit into bad luck and striking out. How many times did he strike out this series?
I don't know, like 12, 13. Yeah, something like that.
But again, here's why I don't think it's he's tanking it or whatever. His eye is still really good. He's not chasing bad pitches.
Yeah, and he's walking. He's walking.
Well,
not a lot, but he is.
No, that's what I mean. He's not chasing. He's not swinging it bad. He's not expanding his strike zone and just swinging and missing and everything. I don't think that it's actually that he's super butthurt. I think that whatever they did, whatever Cora said to him, chilled him out a bit.
Yeah.
But
thing is, if Rafi is furious and petty, he's doing a terrible job of showing it with his body language and how he's talking to the media.
Right.
I just say that he seems pretty fucking average to me. It's like you said, Ed. Rafi had every reason, and I allow him to be furious. After what they did to you, they did lie to him. They did. They straight up lied to him. They fucking misled him. And yeah, he had every right to be angry about that. And he has every right now to be a bit psychologically messed up. Which is why I'm not mad at him right now. I'm giving him at least 2 weeks to readjust. But yeah, if this is going on in May, yeah, I'm gonna give him the grow up kind of spiel. Holy shit.
Yep. But I think chances of us seeing him still struggling really bad in May is very low. He's too good of a hitter. He's too good of a hitter to be
hit baseballs.
Exactly.
It's not
exactly in the middle of your prime, no less. So
yeah,
if you're worried about Rafi right now, you need to grow up. If this is a complete, like I said, though, this is a complete different conversation. If that's the same issue is we're going through this in May or June or whatever.
Yeah. My annoyance at Rafi is postponed because I understand why he would be struggling right now.
Yeah.
Lack spring training, transitioning to DH. I get it. Just hopefully this doesn't last too much longer because wow, that was painful to watch.
Yeah. And I will also say, we've seen him. He looks like he's pressing at the plate a lot this series. He looks like he's trying to make just magic happen on every single swing, which is not who he is, right? We know that. But for him to take walks during the time where he seems very, very swing happy is very, very encouraging. Those walks could have easily been strikeouts from what we've seen, and I think today was his best game.
He's walked twice, I think, right? Has it been more than once?
He walked twice, but he is swinging at everything too.
He walked in that clutch situation today too, just in the ninth inning. So.
Yeah.
He got that RBI, bases loaded, walk. That went well.
Yeah.
Best clutch walker the world has ever seen.
Yeah. So I don't know. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Yeah, he has stunk. You won't get any argument from me.
Sure.
He looks horrible.
Sure. Yeah.
All right,
Yep.
so who you know who wasn't horrible though? Who and why I don't think the spring training thing is a really great excuse for Rafi? William Abreu after really sticking it to Vaughn Grissom and saying, you know what, I got the plague, I lost most of my weight, I missed most of spring training, and I'm gonna turn into Barry Bonds for this first series here and be more or less the only offense, him and one other guy.
Yep.
What do you guys think of Willier? Hogdale, by the way, your call on both of those home runs, pure electricity.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, very, very impressed by Willier. Very impressed. To me, like with that series, if he's performing like that, like to me, he just fundamentally shifts the way I think about Roman Anthony coming up eventually. Like now, it's not Willier's an option to trade. Now it's just simply the only option is Sadon, learn super utility. You're not good enough to make us trade Willier. You're just not like, obviously it's the first series of the year. We'll see if he can continue it, but like this is a continuation of what Willier was doing last year. Hitting for power, playing great defense, aggressive on the base paths during this series as well. Whole team was, honestly.
He drew walks. He drew a bunch of walks because they were, by the end of the series, they were just walking him because they were afraid to pitch to him.
Like, yeah, man, Willier, he's playing so well that like you cannot justify trading him. It just wouldn't make sense. He's too valuable a member of this team. I'm loving what I'm seeing from him. Thin Willie is a absolute fucking king right now.
Do we like Thin Willie, Slim Will, Skinny Willie? Skinny Willie just doesn't sound good. I don't like that one.
Funny.
No, yeah, Slim Will is I think the winner there.
Slim Will. Okay, yeah. So he's Slim Will until he gains the weight back.
Yeah.
I mean, so he had a great series, and the other guy who had a great... You know what? I will let Hogdale, just because of, again, just extremely electric calls. Why don't you tell us who the other good hitter was this series?
The only other hitter was a guy, who just wasn't ready, guys. He wasn't ready to
be a major
ball player.
Yeah.
Terrified out there, dude. He just has no idea what he's doing. Christian Campbell, dude, he impressed me so much during the series. It's not even the home run. It's the everything else. It's the fact that at every single at-bat, he's fighting. He's drawing out longer at-bats. Chase rate is, very much down. Like, he's not going after bad pitches. And when he does swing at bad pitches, he's fouling them off and keeping the at-bat alive. Hitting the dog shit out of the ball, too. His swing is so violent. Like, there's a reason, like, why everyone talks about his bat speed. He's just...
Controlled violence.
It is controlled violence. Like, if people think his swing looks weird, and he's just like, I'm just gonna do me. I'm Christian Campbell. I swing the bat hard. I hit the ball hard. And I play very good defense. He looked very good in left field and in second base.
Oh, man.
So much for any narratives.
They win the game with him in left if he makes that catch, which, by the way, like, that was not an easy catch.
That was one of the best catches I've ever seen if he made that catch.
That he even got to it was ridiculous, but they win that game if he catches it.
Yeah.
And he's barely played outfield. He just started doing this last year.
Yeah.
It's very much like how the Padres took Tatis and put him in the outfield, and then now he's like one of the best outfielders in the game. Like when you're that
talent, man.
Yeah, when you're that athletic, it doesn't matter. Like they could put you anywhere, and you're gonna make a play, and you're gonna not embarrass yourself. You're gonna be looking really good. I mean, it's almost similar to how, like, we know Sadon is also a crazy athlete, great outfielder. You put him at shortstop, and the numbers may not have suggested it last year, but we saw him make some ridiculous plays as well. Super athletic. Love to see that in your guys. And happy that he pretty much knocked off all of his milestones in one series. He got his first hit. Yeah. He got his first walk. He got his first home run. He got his first extra base hit double. Did he have a stolen base? I don't remember. Maybe,
I'm pretty
maybe
sure
not.
He did. Yeah, most of the team that got on base did. Fucking Alex Bregman had a steal this series. They were very, very aggressive on the base paths. I love this new look Sox team in terms of, because they started this last year, like with guys like Duran and Hamilton getting more playing time. In terms of, like, we're just going to be demons on the base paths. But, like, they've extended it to this year, and they've added even more athletes.
Yep.
So, they're just a very fun team to watch when they actually get hits.
Yeah.
There's a reason they left so many runners stranded in scoring positions, because anytime they got a single, they just had to take the open base.
Yep. I mean, there's going to come a point in time where Roman Anthony is going to slide right in like a glove into this roster, and it's going to look
Yeah.
perfect.
Can I
Did you guys
just
see
say-
what
Near
Roman Anthony
perfect.
did today?
Yeah, 2
I
home
was going
runs.
to say,
Yep.
Justin, beautiful transition in the fact that while I was watching Campbell, it's all I could think about.
Yeah.
Is that the fact that, like, I'm tired of Craig and Alex Cora making this team worse by not having Roman Anthony here. The team's, like, not as good as it would be if Roman Anthony was here.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
We all
And-
know why they're doing it.
Yeah, but literally. Because,
Yeah.
Roman
only one
left.
guy can win Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
Yeah, you put Roman in left. Masataka Yoshida is never seeing another baseball game with his
Yep.
baseball team. People need
Yep.
to learn to cope.
He's
And,
not even
like,
on the team now, so what's your
No.
excuse?
Like, dude, it's just...
He deserves better. I
feel
do
bad
feel
for
bad.
him.
I do feel bad.
Like,
yeah.
unless I don't even really agree with it. Like, Masataka is way better than the way they're treating him. But
Yeah.
it's just realistic. They hate him. He's never going to play another game, maybe for the Boston Red Sox ever again,
Yeah.
unless like a disastrous wave of like 80 injuries happen. Knock on wood, that doesn't happen. Roman Anthony's too good to be down in AAA. Like, I'm sorry. Like, already showing why he's forcing the issue. Hit 2 home runs today. I had, like, maybe people thought I was over-exaggerating when I said, like, Anthony's going to have, like, a fucking 12 or 1,300 OPS in AAA, like, by the time it's the end of April. Like, no, that's just serious. He's just that good. He's, like, that much better than the AAA competition. Sadon isn't good enough to justify keeping him down. He's just not. Like, from what I saw Sadon this series, he looks like the same player as I saw last year in terms of his chase rate. Maybe, like, I've heard some people say, like, maybe he's getting a little better contact, but his problem is chase rate. It's always been chase rate. And I don't know, like, the argument is like, oh, Anthony, like, he looked a little rough at left field during spring training. He projects as a great corner outfielder and a decent center fielder. I'm sorry, his defense is not going to be a problem, especially playing left field at Fenway Actual Park.
Yep.
Stop.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He might actually even stand out over in left field. He's another one of those guys where just freak athlete, and I would feel very comfortable with him in the outfield. I mean, we're talking about 3 potential Gold Glovers in the outfield right now, who all can hit the shit out of the ball too. I mean, you don't have that with Sadon. You may have the defense for sure, but Sadon right now is not showing me why Roman Anthony shouldn't be up here.
Plus, it's his defense isn't good enough to kick Duran out either.
No.
Duran was a 90th percentile outs above average center fielder last season. He was a contender for the Gold Glove. He had an amazing sliding play in Texas's very large left field today.
Yeah.
What does Sadon do so special right now to keep out these demons that we have coming up?
I would think that the thought is that you need to get him the playing time, you need to get him the reps so that he does that. They think that there's some unlocked talent there.
I mean, if Sadon unlocks his talent, Sadon unlocks all of his talent, is he better than Roman Anthony at his full unlocked talent?
Wouldn't you rather have simply both of them at their full unlocked talent?
Not when Willier's on the team, and Willier's better than Sadon. And
I agree. I actually agree with you that Willier is better than Sadon. I'm glad that we're on the same page with this.
Sure.
Because I feel like I was
So
beating
good
the
right
Willier drum the entire offseason, and everyone was like, he's good, but we got to trade him.
I only talked about the trade thing because the team loves Sadon so much. It's at this point now, where if they trade Willier, I'm looking at him like, what are we doing here? Willier's, he's so good, man.
He does everything
such an impressive player. He does do everything well.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know who doesn't do everything well? Connor Wong. Connor Wong.
All my narratives are so right.
Yes. You have never been wrong. Connor Wong is playing himself into a firm backup catcher role. I mean, it's not even close in my mind.
I think that's where he belongs. Regardless.
Yeah.
I don't want them to cut. Don't get me wrong. I don't want them to cut him. I like Connor Wong as a player. But Carlos Narvaez looked impressive, didn't he? I mean, I know it was one game, but he was having good at bats.
Yeah,
the defense is excellent.
From what I could see, the framing was on point. No
good
pass
arm.
balls that I can remember. Very good arm.
Wong didn't have any pass balls, I don't think.
No,
I was going to praise Wong because Justin's being harsher on Wong than I've been, actually. Because first couple of games with Wong, I was like, this is markedly better than what he was last year. Because he allowed 3 to 4 pass balls a game last year.
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating when I say that. And he actually attempted to frame pitches, which he did not do last year. He didn't even attempt to fucking frame pitches. So I know they got a new catching coach in. Shout out to that new catching coach who's telling Connor Wong to do his job. But yeah, I agree. Narvaez looked better. I thought Narvaez was more impressive. I thought he was stealing more strikes. The blocking was just as good. And he even got a hit. He looked good. I
He
like
walked
Narvaez.
too. He had good at bats. Like he
Yeah.
made decent I actually like. I'm not sure who a good comp for him is exactly as a hitter at this point because
Narvaez?
I don't think we've seen enough of him yet really to figure that out. But
Yeah.
I mean, are you going to be surprised if he has 300, 350 plate appearances by the time the season is done? Absolutely
No,
not.
I'm expecting
That actually
it.
seems like it might be low.
I'm expecting it. I'm expecting that at least. And I mean, like you said, Ed, you can't get rid of Wong. Like Wong can play second base in a pinch. You know,
First
if
base
all
in a
else
pinch.
goes wrong,
They don't
yeah,
exactly
first-
have a first baseman other than Cassis right now.
Exactly,
I
exactly.
Guys, I just saw something that made me so fucking angry. I'm so annoyed right now.
What? Tell me.
Per Alex Cora at the press conference tomorrow, the Red Sox are facing a lefty, Cade Povich. Wilyer Abreu and Tristan Cassis will not play tomorrow.
So, Rex Snyder and-
I hate him so fucking much sometimes, dude.
Why?
I can't fucking stand it. So ridiculous.
Povich
Re-
isn't even that. Like, Povich is kind of a
No!
junk baller.
Fucking Cassis is not a platoon hitter. Plus, who's your fucking backup first baseman?
Romy.
Long? Like, oh,
No, it's Romy.
I guess.
We're getting Romy and Ref Snyder in the lineup.
Well,
Whatever,
so
man.
and then they have a day off on Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Why? Like I don't understand the Willier thing. He's your best hitter right now. Why sit him for
Yeah.
anything for anybody?
Not even attempting to let him hit lefties. Which didn't he have a home run off a
Yes,
lefty in this series?
yes.
I don't
Yes,
think he had a
did.
home. No, he didn't have a home run, but he drew that 10-pitch walk, and then they were able to keep him in for that second at bat in the ninth inning. That he hit the 3-run bomb on it.
But one of his home runs was like off a lefty.
No, he drew a 10-pitch walk off of Robert Garcia. He looked good against him. I don't think that it makes a difference for him against lefties. I don't believe he hit the home run off of any of his home runs though. I think one was off of Eovaldi and the other was off of Luke Jackson.
I don't know. It looks like Hogdale's checking. But either way, it doesn't make sense for you to just sit him. He's your best hitter right now. He is on fire.
Oh yeah.
Why
agree.
would you sit him? Even if you want to make the argument that Casas is having a bad start to the season, he has an off day on Tuesday to reset. It just makes no sense. It makes no sense.
I don't mind Cassis slumping at this point also just because he's shown that he sometimes takes a little while to get going. Also,
so
you know what's looked really good so far? Cassis's defense, no one's talking about it. The dude's making every play.
Yeah, because he
yeah,
doesn't have
great.
cadavers. He doesn't have cadavers throwing baseballs at him like Kike Hernandez and sometimes Rafael Devers. He has Bregman and Story throwing balls to him, and it's like he could pick it, but he's not picking it and fucking going crazy like every single time a ball comes his way. There's a difference, and this is what we were saying last year. The whole argument about Casas and his defense, it had to do with horrible shortstop play. David Hamilton, whenever Story was down, you had Sadon was not making accurate throws every single time, and then Kike Hernandez, and it's like, well, look at Casas's defense. It's like, no, like you need appropriate fielders in order to kind of base that your judgment off of him. So I don't know.
It's just not smart. It's not smart, and like I'm just tired of like our young guys, like our young ascending talents, like just being treated like platoon bats. They're fucking not. Like what? Like we're keeping Sadon in the lineup, and again Roman Anthony's still down in AAA. Why are we making the team worse on purpose? It's just so stupid.
Yeah, and this is coming from a guy that says that he wants the best team on paper to win games. This is
Totally.
really not. I can get away with one or the other, but the whole righty lefty, the handedness thing is going a little too far in my opinion. I don't know. And then we're gonna see all the takes tomorrow. When the rest of the fan base finds out that Casas isn't starting, they're gonna be like, "Whoa, here comes platoon bat Casas again." It's like, and then I have to fucking deal with that shit.
In some ways, we're lucky that Rafi is having the struggles that he is, just because it's kind of a shield for Casas getting off to a slow start again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
But like nobody was really hit. I guess Bregman and Duran were okay. It wasn't really much. The only guy hitting for any kind of power were Campbell and Abreu, who hit a couple of doubles, couple of homers for Abreu. I think Campbell had 2 doubles and a home run. Like that home run was beautiful. I'm sorry, like that made me so happy. That home run.
It was sick.
It was gorgeous. Yeah. Trevor Story needs to figure it out as well. I mean, if you're gonna have righties out there facing a guy like Povich tomorrow, you better fucking make sure that your righties produce. Okay, this better be the right decision, because you can't sit your best player in Willie Abreu, but then not give Story a day off. He's looked horrible so far this series as well, just like everybody else has. It's no problem. Whatever. I'm not worried about him, but I just he's got to figure it out as well. Everybody's got to figure it out.
Isn't early baseball great when you just have like these really small sample sizes to look at and you're like, oh wow, Willie Abreu is going to win the MVP. Oh wow, Rafael Devers better learn to speak Chinese.
Yeah. Exactly.
Literally.
Exactly. Yeah. No. This is. I'll tell you what. This is better than coming up with top 10 lists and who's your Mount Rushmore of Red Sox players. And I mean, I'd rather do this. Any
seriously.
day.
Something I did feel good about, though, was the pitching for the most part was pretty good. I mean, we saw Crochet was a little disappointing. He was good, but it felt like his command wasn't quite there. But that's what happens when you have really good stuff. You can get away without having pinpoint command.
Yeah, he wasn't locating his fastball very well. It was very much an okay start.
Eovaldi outpitched him. Like, let's be completely real.
Yeah,
Eovaldi outpitched him.
Yeah. I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Fingers up. Was Dick Fitz the best pitcher on the Red Sox this series?
No, because of the bullpen.
So Slayton was better? I agree with that.
Whitlock looked really good, too. I know it was just one appearance,
good.
but Whitlock was the one. I was thinking about this because we're going to do the hitter of the series, pitcher of the series, and I was trying to figure that out. And I guess I'm still trying to figure it out because I might go Fitz. I think this is like a game-time decision for me. But it was either Fitz, Slayton, or Whitlock for me, and I'm not sure which one. Also, Kelly looked good. He went 2 innings.
Kelly looked really good.
Pretty strong.
Yeah. Good for Dick Fitz. Good for
Justin
Dick Fitz.
Wilson looked good.
He looked good.
Yeah.
Justin Wilson did look good.
100%. Yeah. Man, that everyone hates Justin Wilson. Like, that's my narrative for the whole season. I need him to go on, like, a 20-inning scoreless streak or something, just to be like, you wanted him cut. You wanted him DFA'd.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any receipts pulled up for anybody that was shitting on Justin Wilson, but I'm sure I could find some if you really want to.
I'm sure you can find some.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can. Because this podcast isn't that stupid that we'd be just like, wow, we hate this guy. He shouldn't be on the 40 man. Like we were pretty quick to like, well, they obviously saw something they liked in him. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, pitching was good. Dick Fitz looked great. He gave up a couple runs, but that's to be expected in your 4-starter, 5-starter, whatever he is.
I saw a lot of people complaining about Tanner Houck's outing, but I didn't. He was like 1 out away from a quality start. Like, he went 5 2/3, 4 runs against a team that is like, the Rangers have a good lineup. Prior to this is one of those like I wasn't aware of your game situations.
Yeah,
they can hit. They can hit. They can pitch. The Rangers have a really good shot at winning the AL West just based on what we saw. That wasn't a case of. It's not like they were playing the Miami Marlins and they got their asses kicked by the Miami Marlins. Like, that's a good team there.
Yeah, I think after watching Houck's spring, this was best case scenario.
Yeah.
Without obviously throwing a no-hitter, but I think if you watch his spring and you were like, my God, what has happened to Tanner Houck? He looks like a complete opposite to what he looked like last year. And then like he came out and like he gave you like a decent start. It wasn't a quality start, but it was like not far off from a quality start. Like, okay, like you'll take that. Again, it fell on the offense, like it always did for all three of these losses. It fell on the offense, and then there was a couple key plays that really didn't go the Red Sox way on defense. But I mean, got to put up runs. How about these umpires?
I felt like Tristan Cassis didn't get a single call.
No. Not a call, not a one, not a fucking one. Horrible. I was saying earlier today, I was like, if you want proof positive that ABS should be in baseball going forward, watch this series because it was bad. It was really, really bad.
Give me the challenge system yesterday.
Yeah. And I feel like Casas would have had like multiple successful challenges on all 3 games that he struggled in.
I think he'd have had like 3 more walks.
Yeah,
'Cause a lot of them were
easily.
on 3 balls that this was happening.
Yeah. But I can't wait for ABS to come up. Do you think there's any chance that they'll implement it before the All-Star break or even after the All-Star break?
I think it would be next season. I don't think you make a change because that is a big change. I don't think you do it until the next season.
That sucks.
I really, really hope we get it next season, and if not, I think the absolute latest is going to be after the next lockout.
That would be insane because
I've
heard
nothing
nothing
for them to hold out for.
Yeah, well, no, I mean they would hold out for other shit, but I've heard nothing but good things about it in spring training. Everyone seems to like it, pitchers and hitters alike, and these are a group of people that really can't agree on anything, and they seem to like it. So I don't know what's stopping them from just implementing it.
No, it's a good question. I don't know why it's taken so long either, and I say this going to a lot of minor league games, like. It's great. It's really entertaining.
Yeah, it's entertaining, and it also helps the umpires too. A lot of people, I think, look at it as they're taking over for the umpires. I think this is a tool for the umpires to use. That it's like, listen, you missed a call, and it's not. There's no more. There's not going to be any more. Hunter Wendelstedt sucks. He's horrible.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that anymore. All you're going to get is, okay, he made a wrong call that was fixed, and it is what it is. We move on. Everybody moves on past it. So I don't know why they wouldn't bring that back, but whatever. Hopefully it's ASAP.
Yeah, man. The umping this series really was brutal.
Yeah.
It's just a great how do you do to start the season. Just immediately, it's like you really got to look, because this is like a mid-season series, like where if you get this, you are furious, just genuinely fuming, like dog shit umpiring, can't hit with runners in scoring position, and ridiculous. But it's opening day, so we're like, we'll be fine.
Exactly. I mean, opening day was cool, good game, and the rest of the series pretty much sucked, and it's really weird that they have an off day on Tuesday. I don't understand that. I really don't get that. Maybe it has something to do with the Orioles schedule. This schedule so far has been really weird. Half of baseball didn't even play on Friday. The Dodgers and Tigers were off today on a Sunday, which I don't think I've seen since I don't know, in a couple of years at least. But I don't know. Weird scheduling to start off the series.
It was weird having opening day and then not but there were teams not playing, like the Rockies weren't playing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Yankees didn't play on Friday; they had an off day, which makes zero sense to me. But
what do you guys think of those torpedo bats?
I mean, I don't know.
Someone explain those to people that haven't been following. By the way, it's like the Yankees are using this it's like the big red bat that you use in wiffle ball.
Yeah,
is kind of what I'm hearing the comments to it.
So pretty much they've been under development for 2 years, I want to say. They pretty much what I've seen is they focus the concentration of the barrel and the lumber below the label. So you pretty much have like this bulbous sort of shape at the end of the bat that I guess focuses. It pretty much focuses the barrel to the point where if you connect square on the barrel, your chances of hitting it harder and faster go up. This is something that has been approved by MLB before they rolled these out. And we saw a Twins player today use it. So it's not just the Yankees. It's not just a Yankee thing. The Red Sox apparently use this in spring training. Some batters use it in spring training, and
bring it back.
I think that, like, here's my thing though, right? Like, you can give a batter a different bat, but Devers, for instance, like you give him one of these new bats. Is it going to make a difference? No, he's not making contact. So if you can't make contact, you could be holding a fucking oar. It's not going to matter. Right. But if it works, then use it. I mean, Aaron Judge isn't using it. It doesn't matter what he hits with. He's gonna
Oh
hit
yeah, he
home
went
runs no
great
matter
shit
what.
this week too.
Yeah, he did. He had a really good series. But at the end of the day, this is something that every team can use, including the Red Sox. And I don't know. It's really weird. Hogdale, what do you think?
It's one of those things where I saw it and like my first impression was like, "This is legal?" Question mark. And then like the league's like, "Yeah, this is legal." I'm like, "Okay, well then why the fuck aren't we doing it?"
Yeah.
If there's a player on our team that would benefit from having one of these weirdo mongoloid bats, then fucking use it if it's legal. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where like even if it was cheating, I'd applaud the cheating. Dude, the best teams in this league are always pushing the edge of what's legal and what is not.
Yeah.
Like I'm annoyed. Like they have the Yankees have an MIT scientist. Where's MIT located at? Why don't we have one? And why haven't we figured this shit out? The fuck? What are we doing?
I mean, the guy that runs the team is like MIT level smart.
Apparently not MIT.
Yale, sir. That's Yale.
No, but I'm saying like the same
same
intellectual level.
code.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, at first I was like, that's kind of crazy. Like what? And like, yeah, but if it's legal, it's legal. Like
I saw someone today said it's a BBL bat. I thought that was very funny.
I don't know. I like Mongoloid Freak Bat. That kind of makes me happy.
Yeah, it looks like a bowling pin at the end of a baseball bat. Whatever, man. If it works, it works. I guess. Yankees have Goldilocks balls and bowling ball bats. Like I guess they need all the help they can get. So good for them. I guess. Yeah.
You guys want to do superlatives for the series?
Yeah. Love to.
So I think hitter, we probably are on the same page with it, but I guess there are two people it could be. So I guess, Hogdale, you want to go first?
What, hitter of the series? There's literally two choices. I'll go with Willie Abreu because he has 2 home runs.
Okay. Willier it is for you. How about you, Justin?
I am gonna go. I'll go Christian Campbell just because he hit a milestone. I mean, he hit a personal career milestone that means something to me, and I like it. Sure. I mean, you could give it to either Willie or there's only 2 clear choices here. So
yeah, I guess I'll break the tie. I'm going Willier just because he single-handedly won them that game with his offense.
Yeah.
And he was the only guy hitting consistently other than Campbell, but he did a little bit more than Campbell. So I'm going Willier. But it's close. It's like Campbell gives a reasonable contender, which we almost didn't even have a second choice for this. So Willier gets it week 1. This is the tougher one, and I'll let you start on this one, Justin. Pitcher of the series.
Well, I'm gonna go Dick Fitz. I think I was thinking about Slayton. I think he was the only other one because Slayton looked absolutely fucking gross this series. I mean,
right? But he can't be the closer. No, he doesn't have enough experience.
I was just gonna bring that up. Brady saying that he doesn't want Slayton to be the closer because he doesn't have any experience. I mean, I don't care. When you have stuff like that, it doesn't fucking matter. But I mean, I think a lot of people were going into this game specifically on Sunday and looking at Dick Fitz versus DeGrom, and they were like, well, this is going to be a wash. And it ended up being a pitcher's duel of sorts. Yeah. Which we didn't really expect. And, good for him. He I believe, pitched into the 7th inning, I want to say. Did he have 6 in the 3rd?
I think he definitely went 6.
He definitely went 6. Don't really remember if he went for a 3rd in the 7th, but any way you cut it, he had a really good game, and good for him. So
I'm gonna let Hogdale do the tiebreaker on this one because I am gonna pick someone different. And this is not if Fitz doesn't go into that 6th inning and give up 2 home runs in the lead. Like, they got him the lead, and he immediately coughed it back up. And listen, he gave them a good performance. I think he was like going into the 4th inning. He had thrown like 50 pitches or something like that.
Oh,
he
was very efficient.
He was cruising. He was efficient. You cannot ask for a lot more of that than that from Richard Fitz. But they got him the lead, and he immediately coughed it up, and I can't give him it for that. So I'm going Slayton just because of how dominant he looked in both his appearances there. I really I want to give it to Fitz. I just can't. So Hogdale's going to have to be the tiebreaker here, or he can pick someone else, and then we can let the fans decide.
I mean, yeah, on one hand, like, obviously Fitz was very, very good. I was impressed from what I saw from him. I don't really put the coughing lead-up thing against him. I mean, Dolis Garcia fucking murdered us those last two games of the series, man. He is very, very, very good. Wyatt Langford's a young ascending talent. It's not like he gave up those home runs to, losers.
Langford also just assassinates the Red Sox. He killed their season last year, remember?
Yeah.
But Slayton's production actually helped in the game that we won. So I will give it to Justin Slayton because it also fits my agenda, my Justin Slayton for the closer agenda. So I'll go with Justin Slayton. I thought he looked excellent.
Yeah.
Works
I think
for
third
me.
place goes to Whitlock.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
he looked great too.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so now we have what you're all really waiting for. Hogdale gets to decide this. There are quite a few options, but we've got everybody's favorite, the poop sock.
I mean, this is like a mournful poop sock because I have to give it to Raffy, don't I? Like, there's not really listen, they all sucked. Like, for the most part, except for Willier and Campbell. Like, Cassius was very bad, too. He didn't do it, but at least he had a fucking base hit. Like, he had one ball that, he hit where I'm like, oh, yeah, that's Tristan Cassis. Like, Raffy, his timing was just horrible. Like, he looked like he had no idea what he was even looking at. He drew a couple walks, got an RBI walk, that's cool, but sadly, I have to sling the poop sock right at Raffy's doorstep. I don't know if he can even smell it because his place smells like horse shit because he lives on a farm, but it's there. I hope he doesn't step in it because I respect him.
Yeah.
I'm nothing but fair and firm.
Yep.
Why is the music still playing?
Because I hit the wrong button. If you're experienced to jump there, it's because I hit the stop recording button for a moment.
Unbelievable.
So that's on me.
That's so good.
We don't do suspensions, but I would have one if we did.
Yeah, that's okay. It's okay. Yeah, Rafi will figure it out. I'm not worried. If you're worried, you shouldn't be. Grow up. There's a ton of baseball to be played. And, the tier list will be the ultimate judge on this. If we're going into April and he's still horribly bad, then the tier list will reflect that. But
put him in the grow up tier.
Yeah,
it would be the grow up tier, literally, because I'm sorry, man, you're a professional. I get it. They fucked you over. It was shitty. You're allowed to be mad, but you can't let that shit affect your performance for a month. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah.
We've also got we've got two more things before we call it a day, but I did update the trust-o-meter, so Hogdale, you're on. I pinned it.
Oh my
I remembered to
God.
pin it this time.
Congratulations. Thank you for doing your job.
You're welcome.
Yeah, hashtag do your job.
You're welcome.
All right.
Where's my parade?
Trust-o-meter for March 30th of 2025. Subtitles, Justin Wilson shows his stuff. In the 8th spot, did we even see him this series?
Nope.
Cooper Criswell. He's Cooper Criswell.
He's in the Chase Anderson role right now, you know?
Yeah, and all the games are close. That makes sense. The number 7 spot, Greg Weissert. Hey, this allows me to get some Greg Weissert slander in, because I actually looked last year in terms of the Red Sox leaderboard in terms of percentage of inherited runners that were allowed to score. And Greg Weissert was second worst on the team to Chase Anderson, who was, I believe, sitting at 60%. Greg Weissert allowed a whopping 39% of his inherited runners to score. Almost 40% of the time, if Weissert was coming in with a runner on second, that dude is fucking scoring. Just bring him in when the inning is clean, please. He looks fine when the inning is clean, because he had another appearance where the inning was clean and he looked good. So, it's fine. Justifiable number 7 position. Number 6, moving up, Justin Wilson. He looked very good, honestly. Justifying early the faith that Breslow and Bailey showed in picking him up so early in the offseason. We're seeing the vision of what they were putting forth. Number 5,
Nailed it.
Bernardino. He was very good. I was impressed. Again, I was kind of shocked he was here, if I'm being completely honest, just because of how Bailey and Breslow seem to have felt by him. But yeah, he looked like early season Bernardino from last year. He did a good job, prevented runs, was steady and trustworthy. Deserves to be up this high on the trust-o-meter. Number 4, Zach Kelly looks healthy again, and that's all that really needs to be said in terms of Zach Kelly. I mean, we know he has the talent, he has the ability, he has the stuff. Went out there, showed it, looked good. I respect the placement on the meter of trusting. Number 3, Aroldis Chapman, another guy who did his job. He mowed down the Rangers' 3 best hitters in the one game that we actually won in this series. Yeah, deserving. Maybe you don't trust him for other things, but baseball-related things, you do trust him. Number 2, Garrett Whitlock. He looked excellent. He looked like vintage 2021 Garrett Whitlock. Very happy that this guy is on our team. Happy to see him thrive. Let's hope he continues to do that and just stay.
He almost was number 1. I almost put him at number
honestly,
1.
Dude, he looked borderline just dominant. He was great.
But the thing was, number 1 then looked just as dominant.
Number 1 was Justin Slayton, who, again, just dominant. I think he got out of the inning that he pitched tonight in like 8 pitches, which is just something he does consistently because he's a strike thrower and his stuff is amazing. And players just cannot get a hold of what he's doing. And, yeah, he strikes dudes out, too, because he's just that good. So, yeah, Justin Slayton, number 1. That will do it for the March 30th edition of the Trust-O-Meter, brought to you by my stream. Be like the many others in this last week and join the stream, join the team. I'm out here. I stream every single Sox game. Yeah, join the dream. Exactly.
Yeah, you got a shout out from Will Fleming, which is pretty fucking cool.
I love Will Fleming, and yeah, that shout out meant a lot because he's a guy who I hold in very, very, very high regard. I listened to him and Joe call games all through 2021 when I worked at Casey's making pizzas. I listened to every single Red Sox game that year, so I got well acquainted with Will Fleming. Love Will Fleming. He's great.
It's awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of people who boosted the stream like him, and yeah, obviously, big shout out to Jared Carabas. Appreciate you, Tribal Chief. You're one of my biggest advocates. I can't give you biggest because Ed's my biggest advocate. He's been here for me since before I was literally anything.
Was he? Did he join you on stream, or was he in the chat, or what?
No, he
retweeted it.
Oh, awesome!
He just said, "I love Hogdale," to my call, and instantly doubled the audience of what it could fucking go in front of.
That's amazing.
You got like a 200,000 plus view there. You're gonna start getting paid back from Twitter pretty soon. I feel like.
I'd have to pay for premium, but yeah.
Oh, you're not paying for premium? I thought you had a blue check.
Nah, smart move.
I did last year, and I probably will again just for the visibility boosting. Just because of the season. Also, I do need the longer tweets thing, for during the season, and the edit button is also nice universally.
Yeah.
But yeah, during the off seasons, I just didn't see a point in having it. But yeah, I'll probably get premium again, just because it's, I use Twitter obviously way more during the season, and I'm
that was smart of you.
More in depth because I'm not like most other Twitter accounts. I really just kind of throw my opinions out there, as my tweets, and that's it. I don't throw out a bunch of I'm not being disrespectful. I say engagement bait, but not in the bad way, but in the way where you're putting something you want people to engage with, where it's you get a picture of, and maybe you put a noteworthy fact, or you make a joke over a picture or something,
Like me.
You know what's become weird for me? The more I do Twitter, the less I want people to engage with me.
Yeah.
I don't want you to give me your opinion on what I just said. Just either like it or retweet it.
Yeah.
I should just turn replies off or something because it I don't particularly enjoy the replies. I just don't.
I enjoy the replies, good and bad.
Do
good
you?
ones.
Yeah, but you're basically you're the Russell Crowe of Twitter. You just like to fight people.
I do. Because the bad ones are very entertaining, and the good ones I like to converse with sane people. So it's a win-win for me. I was kind of getting into it with some Rangers fans over the weekend, and that's pretty fun because I didn't know Rangers fans existed until they won a World Series a couple years ago. So they were pretty much all Astros fans before that, and I guess half of them kind of just dumped off and became Rangers fans. So good for them. They got a nice little series win, and this is their World Series. It's pretty cool to see. So happy for them. That's great. What else do we got? Christian Campbell extension? What do we think?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not gonna just wait until it happens.
It's very to say it's a good idea. Good job. Working on it.
Well, it's encouraging to see that. I think a week or two ago, Christian Campbell was I haven't heard any single iota of movement in regards to an extension talks, and now all of a sudden, Cotillo last night was reporting that they are deep into talks about extensions, which is pretty cool to see. They have off on Tuesday, like we said, and hopefully they can get something done. I'm expecting something in the realm of like the Churio extension or maybe the Cole Keith extension, somewhere around there. But yeah, like you said, Hogdale, it's the right move. Fucking do it. Get it done. Close it out.
Do we want to do the next season preview?
Yeah.
Next
do it.
season.
Next series.
Yeah, let's pull
Next
the
series.
2026 season preview.
Well, Ruben Anthony's
It's
going to
all-
be going for MVP, so we got that.
Yeah. Thank you, Red Sox Nation.
Yeah, thank you. It is over. Yeah, didn't want to get that negative.
Yeah.
All right, so game
Yeah.
one, we've got tomorrow. It's a day game. Sean Newcomb versus Maury Povich. Just kidding. His name's Cade Povich, but I'm saying
I
Maury
just call me
Povich.
Maury. Yeah, I mean the Red Sox usually hit when Coro throws these bullshit dumb lineups out. So I'll say we win that one.
I think we're gonna lose only because you're sitting Willier and Casas for pretty much no reason.
And you're also
So-
starting
My
Sean
dog because I'm
Newcomb.
bored.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, a good spring trading means nothing to me. I
Yeah.
don't believe in Sean Newcomb. I just don't.
Yeah. So they're going to be behind the 8 ball to begin with, and the Orioles have been hitting really well. They pretty much beat the shit out of the Blue Jays this weekend. So
To be fair, they are the Blue Jays.
no, they are the Blue Jays, but I mean,
And they moved that wall in.
they moved. Yeah, they did. But they're no slouches, and the good news is that you're not facing Gunner's not in the lineup right now. So, but yeah, no, I think they lose tomorrow.
Okay, so then we've got the next day they have off, and then on Wednesday we've got Garrett Crochet versus Zach Eflin. 6:35 start time.
I mean, I got them winning. I think Crochet kind of turns it on, and
Yeah.
he says just kidding about that last start, and then he's just fucking he dominates. So I think they're 1-1 going into the third game.
I agree.
Yeah. I also agree. Good take.
Thank you.
All right. So then the third game, so that's going to be on Thursday. It's another afternoon game, 1 p.m. And that one's going to be Tanner Houck versus Charlie. I'm over 40 years old, Morton. I'm going Sox on that one just because I didn't even like Morton when he wasn't in his 40s, but I don't like him now either. So yeah, let's go Houck.
Hogdale?
Yeah, I agree. The Orioles thing is, like, I see these pitching matchups, and like the Orioles pitching just does not ever like blow me away. Like I just don't believe in their rotation at all. They can mash though, and that's where the hard part is. But I believe in our pitching and our bullpen right now. And I'm sorry, I just don't think the Red Sox are going to go 0 for 8 billion with RISP again. So yeah, I'll pick the Red Sox.
Yeah, I am gonna nervously pick the Red Sox here. I wouldn't be surprised if they lost this series, 2-1 as well. It really all depends on how the offense, if they decide to wake up. It really all depends on Devers if he decides to wake up, or if it's going to take him a little longer to kind of get into the swing of things. But this series will go as Devers goes. If he still struggles, then they're not going to have a fun time. If he kind of wakes up and turns it around, then I think they'll be fine. So, but for record's sake, I'm just going to say that they win.
Cool.
Yep.
Winning.
So, anything else, or we?
I say
is
we
that
didn't
it?
really bring it up because it's not like a big deal. But first impressions of Bueller. What do you guys think of Bueller?
I think he's good. I liked how fired up he was getting, but
Yeah.
it wasn't a good start. Like
It wasn't a good start, but I don't think he
wasn't a
looked
bad
terrible.
start. It was all right. He did all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was fine. I want to say his velo looked pretty good. I mean, the velo is going to tick up a little bit once he gets into the season more, a little bit more. But he looks like he's really using all of his pitches equally. His cutter, sweeper, change, four seam. So I don't know. I mean, his control looked fine, and I don't know. He wasn't really getting whiffs. So hopefully that kind of ticks up in his next couple starts. But yeah. Yeah.
It was nice just having some ball talk.
Oh my god, right?
Yeah. Something new to talk about. Yeah.
Right.
The documentary comes out in what, 2 weeks? I think 1
so.
week, 2 weeks.
It's insane to me it hasn't been out for like a month. Like, what is
Yeah.
happening?
Yeah, I'm not watching it. Why would I watch it?
You know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna have to watch them on off days because I don't like. I'm not gonna watch a series from a Netflix series from last year on a day that my current team is playing. I'm sorry.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna have
Should
to
have
just
come out
save
during
for
the
up
winter.
Yeah. Well, whatever. It is what it is. We're still gonna watch, but
True.
I don't know.
All right. Well,
Yep.
we'll see you. I guess this next one is Thursday night. Yeah, Thursday night.
One of them days.
Yeah, so we'll see you Thursday night. Maybe we'll even have Brady for that one. Who knows? Maybe he'll stay. Well, because it's a 1:00, so maybe he won't be asleep.
Yeah.
Till
Well,
then.
bye.